Chosen one. Have you ever wondered why people who try to hurt you never actually manage to destroy you? Why do their plans crumble just before reaching you? Why, even though they try with all their strength, does something invisible always protect you? It is not luck. It is not coincidence. And today you are going to understand exactly what makes you untouchable, even though they don't comprehend it. There is something in you that people cannot explain. There is something in your energy, in your essence, that baffles those who try to hurt you. And I am not talking about you being perfect, or never falling, or never feeling fear. I am talking about something much deeper. I am talking about the fact that your life has a protection that doesn't depend on your physical strength, your cunning, or even your will. It is something that comes from above, something that was placed in you before you even understood it yourself. Let me tell you something you may have already felt, but haven't been able to put into words. Every time someone has tried to ruin you, they have ended up ruining themselves. Every time someone has plotted against you, that plan has exploded in their own hands, and you have remained there, standing, not quite understanding how you survived. But here is the truth. You didn't survive by accident. You survived because there is a purpose in you that no human force can cancel. This doesn't mean you are invincible in the sense that nothing affects you. Of course it hurts you. Of course you bleed. Of course sometimes you fall to your knees and cry silently, wondering if you can continue. But even in those moments, something holds you, something lifts you up. And when you rise, you discover that what should have destroyed you only made you stronger, clearer, more focused on who you really are. People don't understand this. They see your life from the outside and think you are vulnerable. They think that if they hit you hard enough, you will break. And so they try. They speak badly of you. They betray you. They lie to you. They scheme in secret. They use others against you. They try to isolate you, humiliate you, make you doubt yourself. And for a time, maybe it works. Maybe you feel confused. Maybe you wonder if you did something wrong. Maybe you question your worth. But then something strange happens. Time passes, and what should have sunk you doesn't. What should have broken you ends up breaking against you. And those who attacked you begin to experience the consequences of their own actions, not because you cursed them, not because you sought revenge, but because life has a way of returning what is sown. And whoever sows destruction reaps destruction. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to constantly defend yourself. You don't have to explain yourself to every person who judges you wrongly. You don't have to prove your innocence to those who have already decided to see you as guilty, because there is a force greater than you that takes care of that. There is a divine protection that operates even when you sleep, even when you are not thinking about it, even when you have forgotten who hurt you. And this isn't magic, it is not fantasy. It is something that spiritually sensitive people understand well. It is God's seal upon your life. It is the invisible mark that indicates your existence has a meaning that goes beyond what others can see. It is the sign that your path is protected because your mission is important. Not important in the sense of fame or public recognition, but important in the sense that your life touches other lives in ways that aren't always visible, but are profoundly real. Think about it. How many times have you been in situations where everything seemed lost, and suddenly something changed? How many times have you felt you were heading straight for the abyss, and something stopped you just in time? How many times have you seen how the doors that should have opened for your enemies closed, while the doors that should have closed for you remained open? This is not coincidence. This is design. This is protection. Now, I understand. This may sound like I am telling you that you are special in the sense of being better than others. And that is not it. It is not about superiority. It is about purpose. Every person in this world has a unique purpose, but not everyone is awake to that purpose. Not everyone is willing to pay the price of living aligned with their truth. Not everyone is willing to endure the loneliness, rejection, incomprehension that comes with being different. You are. That is why you are here, listening to this, because something inside you knows you are not like the others. And I don't say this with arrogance. I say it with the same seriousness with which someone recognizes that a doctor is not a lawyer, or that a bird is not a fish. You are simply different. Your soul operates on a different frequency. And that makes your life different too. That is why they attack you. Not because you are bad, not because you have done something terrible, but because your mere presence challenges their way of living. Your inner peace reminds them of their chaos. Your silence reminds them of their noise. Your capacity to forgive reminds them of their bitterness. Your faith reminds them of their emptiness, and that bothers them. They cannot explain it, but they feel you have something they don't have, and instead of seeking it within themselves, they try to destroy it in you. But they cannot, and they never will. Because what you have doesn't come from you, it comes from God. And what God protects, no human being can destroy. They can try, they can conspire, they can ally themselves, they can lie, they can manipulate, but in the end, everything crumbles. Because they are fighting against something that is bigger than them. Let me give you a concrete example. Think about all the times someone falsely accused you, maybe at work, maybe in your family, maybe in a friendship. They pointed to you as the problem. They blamed you for things you didn't do, and for a time, it seemed everyone believed them. It seemed you were going to lose everything. But then, with time, the truth came to light. Not because you forced it, but because the truth always finds a way to reveal itself. And when that happened, those who accused you were exposed. Their credibility collapsed, and you moved forward. That wasn't coincidence. That was divine protection. That was God's seal on your life doing its work. Or think about the times someone tried to block an opportunity for you. They closed a door you needed. They sabotaged a project. They took something that was yours, and you felt devastated. You cried, you got angry. You wondered why God allowed it. But then, months later, you discovered that closed door saved you from something worse. You discovered there was a better door waiting for you further ahead. And you realized that what seemed like an attack was actually a redirection. That is what I want you to understand today, chosen one. Your enemies cannot touch you because your life is not in their hands. It is in God's hands. And although they believe they have control, although they plan months in advance, although they feel certain that this time they will succeed in destroying you, they will not. Because there is a spiritual order that governs your life, and that order cannot be altered by human will. Now, this doesn't mean you should be passive. It doesn't mean you should allow abuse. It doesn't mean you should stay in toxic situations waiting for God to do everything for you. Divine protection doesn't nullify your responsibility. It doesn't nullify your free will. It doesn't nullify your duty to establish boundaries, to distance yourself from what harms you, to defend yourself when necessary. But it does mean you can do it from a place of peace. You can establish boundaries without hatred. You can walk away without revenge. You can defend yourself without becoming what they are. Because you know you are not alone. You know there is a greater force working in your favor, and that gives you a calm they cannot understand. That calm is your power. That calm is your protection. Because when you don't react, when you don't enter their game, when you don't lower yourself to their level, they lose their power over you. And that makes them desperate because they expected you to break. They expected you to become like them, bitter, vengeful, full of hate. But you didn't, and that confuses them. And that confusion weakens them. I have seen this over and over. I have seen people who were betrayed, humiliated, attacked in the cruelest ways. And instead of being destroyed, they grew. Instead of becoming bitter, they became more compassionate. Instead of closing themselves off, they opened themselves even more to life, and their enemies couldn't understand how it was possible. They couldn't understand how someone could survive so much and continue being good. The answer is simple: because they weren't alone. Because they had something their enemies didn't have. They had faith, they had purpose. They had the internal certainty that their life meant something, and that certainty made them untouchable. You are that person, chosen one. You are the one who survives what should destroy you. You are the one who rises when everyone expects you to stay down. You are the one who forgives when it would be easier to hate. You are the one who keeps believing when it would be more logical to give up. And that is why you are protected. Not because you are perfect, not because you never make mistakes, but because your heart is in the right place. Because despite the pain, despite the wounds, despite all the reasons you would have to be bitter, you keep choosing the light. You keep choosing love. You keep choosing faith. And that choice makes you untouchable, because evil can only destroy those who are full of evil. Evil can only conquer those who operate from the same place of darkness. But when there is light in you, when there is love in you, when there is faith in you, evil has nowhere to grip. It slips, it dissolves, it returns to whoever sent it. That is why your enemies fail. Not because you are stronger, but because what is in you is stronger, and what is in you comes from God. And God doesn't lose battles. So if today you are going through a difficult situation, if someone is trying to hurt you, if you feel the attacks don't end, I want you to remember this. They cannot touch you. They can try, they can make noise, they can create chaos around you, but they cannot touch the essence of who you are. They cannot touch your soul. They cannot touch your purpose. They cannot touch God's seal upon your life. And as long as that seal is there, as long as that protection is active, as long as your heart remains aligned with the light, you will be okay. Maybe not in the way you expected, maybe not in the time you wanted, but you will be okay, because God doesn't abandon those who trust in Him. God doesn't let those who walk in His truth fall. Trust in that, chosen one. Trust that there is a bigger plan. Trust that every attack you survive is preparing you for something greater. Trust that every closed door is directing you toward the right door. Trust that every betrayal is teaching you to trust in the right things. Trust that every pain is molding you into who you need to be. And above all, trust that you are not alone. You never have been. You never will be, because you have a protection that doesn't come from this world. You have a seal that no enemy can break. You have a purpose that no human force can cancel. And that, chosen one, is what makes you untouchable. It doesn't matter how many times they try. It doesn't matter how hard they hit you. It doesn't matter how many join against you. In the end, all their efforts will crumble. In the end, you will still be standing. In the end, your light will keep shining, because that is how it works when God protects you. Because that is how it works when your life has purpose. Because that is how it works when you are a chosen one. And you are, even though you don't always feel it, even though sometimes you doubt, even though there are days when you want to give up, you are. And nothing, and no one can change that. So walk with that certainty, live with that peace, act from that confidence. Because when you do, you will see how everything that tried to destroy you ends up strengthening you. You will see how every enemy that rose against you ends up falling by their own weight. You will see how God's protection over your life is not just a nice idea, but a tangible reality that manifests day after day. And when you see that, when you truly understand it, you will no longer be afraid. You will no longer feel the need to constantly defend yourself. You will no longer worry about what others say or do, because you will know you are protected. You will know you are untouchable. You will know you are a chosen one. And that, my friend, is a power no one can take from you. If this message resonated with you, leave me a comment with the word protected, so I know you understood this truth. And if you know someone who needs to hear this today, share this video.